What's up, guys? MC Stu here, and today we're going to talk about audio for your live stream and just basic computer use in general. This is really designed around if you're a streamer, someone that does live broadcasts, and you want to be able to control the audio you hear in your ear, the volume separately from what the stream hears. So this is really helpful if I don't know, you're playing with a group of friends, Discord's on, you can hear them fine, but the stream can't. And so you go and you turn up, the chat volume, and now the stream can hear them, but they're extremely loud in your ear, or vice versa. They're too loud on the stream, but you can hear them, and you need to turn it down. And so you turn them down, but now you can't hear them, and you see the problems. If you're watching this video, you're probably aware of those kind of issues we've all had to deal with. I've used Go XLRs and many other softwares and devices, and this is the best setup that I've been able to actually put together, and it was extremely inexpensive. Your hardware is not going to matter for this. I'm using one of the cheaper Shure mics along with a Scarlett that is converting to USB. If you're using a straight USB mic or whatever else, then you won't have a problem with this. I don't know. Well, I haven't put any kind of work into figuring out how to make this method work with a Go XLR. My kid has one, my wife has one, and I haven't put a lot of work into trying to figure out if that can work. I think it can, but it kind of negates having the Go XLR, and you lose out on some of the features that you would get with that, like the voice changers and things like that. But if you want to be able to control your audio separately, this is going to be the best way to go about doing it. So I'll give you just kind of a brief overview of how it works for me, and then I'll go through the steps on how to get this set up. So the way I have this configured is I have assigned, I'm going to call them audio tags or virtual cables, these three items here, and I'm able to control the sounds from those items from this board. And this turns it up or lowers it in my ear. So I have my headphones set here, and I have my actual speakers to my system set here, so I can turn them off and on if I want to just run just my headphones or just my computer stuff. I'm streaming, obviously it's just going to be headphones, and I'll have the other one muted. So this is only going to control what I hear in my ear. I am not outputting this anywhere else other than to my headphones. And then what I do is I use these same assignments here, and I plug them into OBS separately. So now if I turn this up and down, Spotify, that changes the volume for my stream, but it does not change the volume in my ear. So basically what's happening here is Spotify has been assigned this here. And so its output is putting that out, and I'm able to grab it from there for my ear and from OBS for my stream. So it's putting it out, and I'm able to grab them by two separate things, allowing me to control them or control it separately. And I've used the same method for Discord. Again, Discord kind of has it built in, so it's a little more straightforward, or at least it's integrated. I'll show you how to do that. And then for the main PC, again, same thing. So the way I normally run my stream is I'll have background music going. I might have somebody in Discord if I'm doing an interview or something like that. And then I have whatever else is making noise, which is generally going to be whatever game I'm playing, or if, I don't know, we're reviewing a YouTube video or something like that, whatever else the computer's making. I don't really, for my purposes, have a need to break it up any more than that. If I'm live streaming, it's going to be specific what I'm doing, and so we'll have my mic. We'll get to that in a minute because that is not here. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. And so I'll have my mic, I'll have whatever it is I'm doing, be it a game or a YouTube video I'm looking at. We'll have the Spotify music just playing in the background, and if I happen to have somebody in Discord, I can control them all in my ear, all separately. So I can set these levels. And then OBS, I can do the same exact thing, all of these items, plus my mic, which is here. I can do Spotify. I can do my desktop audio, so whatever it is that I'm doing, a game or reviewing a YouTube video or whatever. And then I have Discord. So just to give a quick example, if we had Discord unmuted and we had people in it, and let's say for my stream, Discord was way, way too loud, but I could hear them just fine. I could just turn down Discord right here a little bit, and now it's good for my stream, and I didn't even mess with it for my ear. Nothing changed for my ear. Or let's say it's perfectly fine for the stream, but they're just, it's not quite loud enough for me, then I can go ahead and just turn up Discord in my ear like that. So I can control them separate and set this. Once I have this stuff set, most of the time, I don't really have to mess with this. The only Variation to that would be if maybe I had a few people in Discord and some people are louder than others, but then you can individually adjust their volumes within Discord. And I'm sure you guys all know how to do that. That would be really kind of separate from this tutorial. Let's talk about the two pieces of software that you're going to need. The first is going to be virtual audio cables. You can get one cable for free, and then you can get two more by donating. I'm trying to remember what I donated here, but it wasn't very much. It was like $10 or something like that, and I was able to get a total of 3 of these virtual cables. You'll need to get the free one, install it, reboot your computer, and then go ahead and get the 2 that you donate for, install it, reboot your computer, and these virtual cables will be there. We'll get back to what we're going to do with those in a moment. Next, what you're going to want to grab is this here, and this is Voicemeeter Banana. This is free as well, and this is basically a software or mixing software that is free to use. Really good software. I see a lot of tutorials on this. All of them are used in a different way from how I'm using it, but I used it in the way that most of the tutorials, say to use them, where you're feeding everything into here. And then from these here, you're being able to feed out into your OBS, and you can kind of break them up. And it's really good for doing that, but it didn't achieve the purposes that I wanted, being able to control this audio separately. So you want to go ahead and download and install this as well. Okay, now that you have your virtual wires installed and you have Voicemeeter Banana installed, the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to come to our sound control here. And we are going to want to set, in my case, I used for your system audio, I changed this to audio cable B. You can use any of those that you downloaded. So, and that's going to be A, B, and this one here is C. So when you download these and start assigning them, just while you're doing this setup, I would write down what you've assigned to what. It doesn't matter what which ones you use for what. These are just generic tags. I could have used A or the other, this one being C, even though it doesn't say it. So just write that down. It'll make your life a lot easier. And once you assign that, you are no longer going to be able to hear your computer, because now this is outputting, instead of to your speakers or to your headset, it's going to be putting out to this virtual cable. So you won't be able to hear anything. So what you'll want to do is go to Voicemeeter Banana, and what we want to do is we want to assign right here where it says A1, assign that to whatever it is that makes noise on your computer. In my case, I have the speakers here, or you can do your headphones, whatever it is that you have. So whatever was here, you want to assign to A. Okay, so that's coming out to that, and your desktop audio is going to this here. So now we need to tie cable B to Voicemeeter Banana. So I use the first one here, main PC, and I clicked on that, and this is going to list all of the tags that make noise in your computer. So microphones, headsets, different things like that. And you're going to want to go ahead and choose the same one here that you picked here. So now what we're doing is we're telling the computer, instead of talking to my headphones, I want you to talk to this channel. We've matched those two. And we're telling Voicemeeter Banana that we want the audio to come out of A, and we want to link these two together by making sure that you have A1 turned on. So we've told PC to talk to this channel. This channel, by turning on A1, will tell it to route the audio to this output. And we've told this output we want it to go to our speakers or your headphones. Now your computer will make noise again, just as it did before you started this whole process. So anything that, plays, YouTube, whatever it may be, is going to now route through Voicemeeter Banana and out to your headphones. So at this point, we really haven't changed anything, except for, instead of, adjusting audio here, you can now adjust it here as well. But that's okay, because we're going to route these same things all out to OBS. So now that we've done this step, why don't we go ahead and complete it with OBS, and then we'll move on to the other items. So with OBS, we're going to basically do the same thing. I'm going to go into my sound. And if you guys are asking these questions, you've probably played with this quite a bit. So I'm not going to go into all the details on all the sound stuff and that kind of thing. I don't like using any of the desktop audios, they're limited, so you're going to want to use the bottom 4 for these, or however many you end up using. And let's forget about the mic for a moment, okay? So right now in my auxiliary 2, I have routed that audio cable B to that. So now what's happening is down here, the computer is putting audio out to cable B, and this is grabbing it for my ear, and OBS is now grabbing it for my stream separately. Okay, so we hit OK, and I've labeled all mine after I set it all up. So right now, the one we're looking at is voice wire B, and that is for my desktop. So now if I'm, I don't know, playing a video game on stream and I want it to be really loud on stream, I can crank it up here, and I could turn it way down over here if I wanted to. I can control these 2 volumes separately from what I hear in my ear to what the stream can now hear. So I have separated my, and you could just go, leave it like that, and grab your microphone. So let's talk about microphone, and then we'll go into adding additional ones. So for the microphone, I just route that directly into my OBS. I don't need that to come to here. I don't want to hear the microphone in my own ear. If you wanted to, you could just grab one of these and assign it to the microphone. So the Scarlett should be listed here somewhere. I have so much stuff in this list. Focusrite. So here is my actual microphone. So I could put it here if you do want to monitor it, or you can turn on the monitoring in OBS. I don't like to hear myself talk. I can already hear myself in my own head, so I don't like that. So I just grab the mic directly for OBS, and I put it right on in. So I'm using the Scarlett 2 Focusrite. So super straightforward. Now I can go in here and I can use, my noise suppression and all of that kind of thing, noise gates, and I can use the built-in stuff that OBS has, which works very, very well. The noise suppression for OBS works excellent. I really, really like that. So we're grabbing the mic separate, and if all you wanted is just your desktop audio to be controlled separately, for your stream and for your headphones, you are done. And this would all just work, and you just leave it. So this comes up on boot up. So if I don't have OBS open and I'm just doing whatever it is I'm doing, I don't even have to mess with any of this because it's already set to what I want to hear. If I happen to be gaming, playing with Discord, and I just want it real loud for some reason, I can come into here and turn it up. So you can still adjust this stuff even when you're not streaming. This is always just running in the background. If I was to exit out of this, I wouldn't be able to hear anything on my computer. So this comes up as default, and it's just good to go. Let's talk about adding Discord. All right, so Discord is very similar. So just like your desktop audio, you have your input and your output, and this, Discord has that built in pretty much the same way. So I'm grabbing my microphone. You could also leave this as default if for the way my system's set up, my default is also the microphone. So, but just to kind of keep things all the same, I've selected my microphone for Discord, and the volume and all of that is controlled by Discord just like it normally would be. For the audio output, we're doing the exact same thing that we did for the desktop output, but we're using one of the other virtual cables. So in this instance, we're using cable C, and it's actually, if you see the whole thing written out, this one says virtual cable. So you have virtual cable A, virtual cable B, and virtual cable. I don't know why they did it like that, but the shortened version of it cuts off the rest of the cable, and it's just C, which is what it's supposed to be. So I selected virtual cable C for this output, and then I'm just going to do the exact same thing that we just did for the desktop audio. I came into Discord here, and I selected virtual cable. Like I said, they did cut off part of that. So it's virtual cable. That is the same one that I used here for Discord. And then in OBS, I went ahead and did the same thing. I added a audio device or audio line, and we called it virtual cable, which is this guy here. And then I went ahead and labeled it Discord, or VW Discord. So now, if Discord is too loud in my ear, I can turn it up and down, or if I need to make that adjustment on stream separately, I can turn it up and down here. So again, all we've done is we have assigned a virtual tag or a virtual cable to whatever piece of software that we want, and now I can grab them separately with Voicemeeter Banana and with OBS and control the volume separately. Now, lastly, this last one's a little, I don't want to say it's a little more complicated, but it's a whole nother place that you have to do that tag assigning. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. So if we go into the audio settings of your PC, and let's just go ahead and get rid of some of this stuff out of the way. And you're going to scroll down here, and what we're going to want to do is we want to assign that last virtual cable A that we downloaded and installed. I want to assign that to Spotify. Now, what's important here when you do this with Spotify, in order for it to show up, you need to have Spotify have it come on or launch it and have it make noise. Okay, so I'm going to have it make a little bit of noise here, and let's make sure that's turned way down here. And then once it's making some noise, go ahead and click on Advanced Sound Options. If it's not making noise, it will not show up here. So if you've come here and it's not showing up and you've opened up Spotify or whatever else, okay, so any other software that you have, it could be a video game. Pick a video game, have it launched, make sure it's making some noise, minimize it in the background, it'll show up here, and this will be assigned to it anytime it's live. I wouldn't recommend setting it up that way, but you can do it with any piece of software you want. The software needs to be running and needs to be making noise for it to be seen here. So now that this is happening, by default, it's going to just say default, right? So what I've done is if you take the top drop down, and I don't know what the difference is here where it like lists the same thing, but well, I guess it doesn't. Anyways, let's not get sidetracked. So we have Spotify playing. It just labels whatever's live. So Stream Beats, Harris Heller. You'll see the icon there. And what you're going to want to do is click the top one and assign it another virtual cable. So the last one we have left is virtual cable A, and that's what we're going to go ahead and assign to that. So now that I have this assigned in Windows, anytime this is up, it is going to play to that virtual cable instead of normally it would go to the default, and normally your default would be your speakers and you would hear them. So what's happening now is it is playing to virtual cable A. And so again, now we're doing the same thing is we're going to come over to Voicemeeter Banana, and for Spotify, we're going to assign virtual cable A to it. So now when it's playing, and here I'll turn it up a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. I guess that all depends on the stream, right? So right now it's muted, but I can hear it a little bit here, and I can turn it up and down, or I can go ahead and turn it on for the recording. And now you guys should be able to hear it. So go ahead and mute that. So now I've turned that off, and it looks like song is just changing, but I can hear that. But you guys cannot because it's muted, controlled separately. So essentially this whole process is assigning tags to all the different softwares that are going to create noise. And a lot of these softwares have different ways of doing it. So this does not allow you to do it in the software, but Windows does give you that ability to go ahead and assign tags to anything that's currently making noise. Now, if I close that completely, it will no longer show up in that audio list. But as soon as I fire it up again, it will show up in that list, and it will remember that virtual cable that I assigned to it. So once you do this, you do not have to go back. I set all of this up almost a year ago, and I have not had to mess with it one time, which has been awesome. So just to recap, I showed you how to take your system audio, Discord, which has the function to assign a different audio output built in, and also a software, in this case Spotify, that does not have that ability, using the Windows Advanced Audio settings to assign a virtual cable to that. And then all we're doing is just grabbing inputs by two separate softwares. One, OBS, is putting out to your live stream, and the other, Voicemeeter Banana through channel A, is putting out to your headphones. So again, it's important to make sure that you have A1 selected on all of these different software volumes, because this is telling these things to go to A1. You'll notice that I have A2 and A3 selected. The reason for that is that I have my speakers there, I have headphones here, and I don't think they're plugged in right now, but I had a different set of headphones here. So I can actually, listen to music, and if I want to, I can just, pick up my headphones, put them on, and it's playing through my headphones and I can just turn off my amplifier. My speakers are ran by an amplifier. I can just turn that off, or you can just mute them. So you can actually have 3 different audio output devices, which is kind of nice here. They don't line up super well, but you have, here's the 3 controls for it. I don't normally mess with that at all, but you can assign multiple different outputs. So if you have, your headphones or you have speakers and you have headphones, you can just assign them here and tell these to just put out to them. I have it putting out to all of them all the time, because if I'm using my headphones, I have my speakers turned off. Or if I'm using, my speakers, then I don't have my headphones on, and I don't care if the noise is coming through it, because I can't really hear it. So it's just another option. You can mute them as well, but it's nice that you can have these multiple outputs. This is just built in, and you just select it like that. So I know this is a little complicated. I've been putting off making this for a while, and there's quite a few takes that I had, so I'm sorry if it's not as clear if it otherwise could be, but put any of your questions down in the comments. Be more than happy to go through that, and that might give me some ideas as well for some additional videos, maybe where we need to drill down on some of what we did here. So hope that was helpful, guys. If it was, please hit that sub button, ring the bell, and again, tell me what you thought. Until next time, appreciate you watching. Have a good one. Hey guys, appreciate you watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, ring the bell, and sub to the channel for the latest news updates and how-to guides.